Are you a business owner who's maybe been in business for a while and you're kind of feeling like the marketing that you've been doing or the advertising that you're used to just isn't working as well as it was in the past? Or are you maybe a new entrepreneur that really wants to dig into the world of online marketing and you just don't know how to grow your business that way? It's all new to you. Well, I have the answer. Whether you have been in business forever or you're brand spanking new, I'm going to show you how to create a lead magnet that explodes the amount of leads you are getting every single day. And it's super duper easy, but most people don't take the time to do this, and that's the heartbreaker. So if you want to explode your business by collecting more leads, this is the video for you, so stay tuned. I'm Erin Cook, and I teach busy entrepreneurs just like you how to save time, money, and energy by simplifying and systematizing your daily business activities so you can earn more profit in less time. We gotta work smarter, not harder, people. And if you're new to YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. I do these trainings weekly just for you so you can learn how to improve your life and love your business again. I don't want you to get burned out, so I want you to subscribe and figure out how to do this in a much easier way. Explode your business by subscribing to us on YouTube. Email marketing is very quickly the most efficient way to grow your business because that's where you make the most sales nowadays if you are marketing online. And if you're not marketing online, you're missing the boat because that's really how businesses are growing today. Email marketing is important because if you're gaining all these customers just by maybe word of mouth, which is fine, but you're not collecting those emails, and maybe you're getting people from social media calling you and you're not collecting their emails, if something happens to social media or you run out of customers to tell people about your business, how are you going to reach your customers? Say Facebook for some reason closes your account. Wouldn't that suck? Oh my gosh, what would I do? Well, I would fall back on my email list, which is what I encourage you to start building. And the best way to do that is through a lead magnet. So let's jump in. Now, what a lead magnet does, if you are an old school entrepreneur, maybe you have put your advertisement on a diner menu. Remember when that used to work? Now marketing is so different. You really need to have an online presence and connect with your ideal customer. Just putting an ad in the paper or a magazine or on a menu at the diner really doesn't attract all of the customers that you are really looking for. Remember, we always have an ideal client. We're not targeting everybody. I mean, your product could be for everybody, but when you're marketing directly to somebody. So you need to remember how to make that specific for that type of audience that you're targeting. So with email marketing, we want to give out valuable information to a client or potential client that makes them build their trust with us, makes a relationship between you and the customer, and that way they feel better about making a purchase with you when they are indeed ready to purchase. So you have to build trust nowadays. People just don't go to your website normally if you have a service-based business, especially, or if you're in network marketing and you sell something that somebody down the road does, you have to differentiate yourself now. They don't just come and say, okay, I'll buy this from you just because you sell it. That's not why. People buy because of who you are and what value you can give them. The best way to give them value is through email marketing and lead magnets. So a lead magnet, short and simple, is just a piece of information that you get to attract clients or even existing clients to put them into your funnel, which is a totally different video, but don't get overwhelmed. It's simply a system of automated emails that guide them on a journey. And that piece of information that you're going to give them to entice them has to be valuable. So you're going to give out some of your best information for free. And that's kind of scary for people. They say, I don't want to give out a bunch of information for free when it took me a long time to learn it, right? You see a lot of people saying, join my newsletter list or my email list. Well, what are you giving them? You have to give them something that they will give you their email, because do you really give up your email list for free anymore or for something that's not worth anything? No, because you're going to get bombarded by most companies with all these emails. You have to be different. You have to provide a lot of value, not just hey, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. You want to give them value even if they're not going to buy from you. That's what a lead magnet is. So let's jump into the 7 steps. I want you to grab your pen and paper. This is how I grew my list for my emails for my brides and grooms, for my travel business. I specialize in honeymoons and destination weddings. I have over 2,000 people just since I started doing this whole process with lead magnets. And actually I have one of my lead magnets. I have many. I do a webinar for free for couples that are interested in planning their own honeymoon. And this lead magnet is how to plan your all-inclusive dream honeymoon like a travel agent. Now people will say, wait, you're telling them how to plan their own honeymoon. Yes, because I'm gonna lay out exactly what it is I know you have to do, because there's a whole lot to do. It's not just going on Expedia and creating your honeymoon, okay? There's a ton of other things you have to consider. And it goes into how to find the best honeymoon for your budget based on your needs, your desires, and it's a ton of valuable information. And then at the end of the webinar, I say, hey, this is a lot of work, right? If you are interested in working with me, here's my email or whatever, you know what I mean? I tell them where I can help them, but I'm providing value for those people. And you know how many people I've planned weddings and honeymoons for that have gone through this class? Just because they see how overwhelming it is to choose the right one. Okay, so that's what a lead magnet does. Now, the first step in creating that lead magnet, whatever business you are in, you're gonna want to think about all the questions that people ask you about what it is you do. Let's say you are a real estate agent and you want to provide value to your clients. So you could give a lead magnet out about like a checklist, the top 10 things or the 10 things you need to do before your open house to have a successful open house. Or if you are a coach, a fitness coach, you could say, here's a meal plan. Lose 5 pounds in 7 days following this meal plan. It has to be something specific, and it's got to take them on a journey. So think about, what goal do people have? What goals do they have when they're working with you? Existing clients, okay? And then those are the things that your potential clients are going to want to learn. Does that make sense? So whatever it is that your existing clients are looking for, you've already gotten their attention and their trust. Whatever they're asking is probably the questions that your potential clients are going to be asking and looking for the answer for. So you want to provide that solution. Make sense? So the first thing you have to do is figure out what journey you want to take them on. What problem do you want to solve for them? You're going to write this down with pen and paper, and you're going to say step 1 is this, 2 is this, 3 is this, whatever it is, and you're going to solve that problem. And you're going to name that lead magnet exactly like I said. Tell them exactly what it is going to do for them. They don't want fluff. They want to know, this is a meal plan to lose 5 pounds in 7 days. Okay, so it's got to be very specific. So that's step number 1, is outline what it is you want to provide for your potential client or your lead to gain more. Okay, now along with that, there's going to be 3 things in your lead magnet that you have to consider. The first thing in your lead magnet, now write this down, I don't want to confuse you, this is still step 1, outlining what it is you're going to give them. Step 1 is going to be telling them what it is again, right? So write on your PDF or whatever it is, feeling overwhelmed with honeymoons. Are you focused on your wedding plans so much that your honeymoon fell on the back burner? You're in the right place. Here's my step-by-step process for planning your honeymoon like a travel agent. Just reiterate what it is you're going to do for them in the beginning of your lead magnet. So that's the first part. The second part is deliver your content. Make it awesome, make it valuable, make it something to let you stand out from the crowd. And lastly, you're going to give a call to action. Now remember I said I give a webinar on how to plan your honeymoon. At the end is my call to action. Have them do something. Whether it's following you on Facebook, whether it's calling you for a free consult, maybe it is signing up for a different lead magnet to go into a different funnel if you're familiar with funnels. But give them something to do to touch base with you or to get them the habit of taking action with you. Train them. Does that make sense? You want to train your potential leads to pay attention to you. Okay, so let's move on to step 2. So step 2, you're going to figure out what your lead magnet type will be. Now, in general, If you are just getting cold leads, which means they haven't heard of you before, they don't know what it is that you do, you want to deliver something short and sweet. So my webinars are more for people that I already have their emails. Maybe I got their email from a bridal show, but maybe I haven't touched base with them very frequently, or maybe they said they'd call and they didn't. I can offer them this lead magnet to take them one step closer to being a client, if that makes sense. So they've heard of me and maybe, just wasn't sure of what it was that I did, how I could help them. That's a little bit warmer audience. So something to start out with a cold audience would be very short and simple, like that real estate checklist. If you don't know anybody and they say, well, what realtor should I pick? Stand out from the crowd and say, here, are you selling your house? Here's what to do when you have an open house. Or here's what to do just in general before a showing of your house. That's helpful information that can guide people toward you, okay? So you're gonna figure out what type you want to deliver. Is it a checklist? Is it a video? Is it a webinar? Decide on your lead magnet. And then if you don't know how to create that lead magnet, like whether it's a PDF, just doing it on Microsoft Word or whatever, that's so easy. You can figure out how to create a document, figure out how to do a webinar, just Google it, okay? Step 2, decide how you're going to deliver your lead magnet. That sounded a little like a lot. I'm just too excited, can you tell? I love lead magnets because I'm a creative person. So I'm always creating them, even though if I don't use them all the time. I often switch them out, which is another thing you can do, but you at least have to get one going to build your email list. All right, let's move on to step 3. Step 3 is you have to physically create it. Now that's a no-brainer. Physically creating it and having a place to store it would be step 4. Okay, so once you've got it physically created, that's the easy part. That's number 3. That's when you've figured out what type you had, you Googled it, and now you've created it. Okay, so those are the 3 steps. Step 4 is storing it somewhere. Now, when you are giving people this lead magnet, it has to be stored someplace like a link, and it has to be delivered automatically. So the first part is finding where to store it. Now, if you have an email autoresponder, and I'm throwing all these big words at you, but because you are watching this because I called it a presentation about lead magnet, I'm going to assume that you know what an email autoresponder is. If you don't, it's simply an email service that you can go in, create something like a lead magnet link in an email, and it will automatically, when somebody signs up for it, it will send that email without you have to manually do it. So you can do this in your sleep. You will grow your email list in your sleep. Doesn't that sound awesome? It is awesome. It's awesome. If you have an autoresponder, sometimes they allow you to upload your lead magnet right to the autoresponder and then create a link from there. Again, this is something you can Google. But what I do, I actually have Dropbox for Business. It is the unlimited storage plan where I upload all my videos, all my creatives, all my emails, everything into one place, and it's unlimited. So I can access it anytime. My virtual assistants can access it, but find a place where you can create a link that will go right to this document or this video, whatever it is you're creating. If you're creating video, you can link it to YouTube. You can just upload it there and then provide the link in your email autoresponder. Okay, so that's step number 4 is storage. Step number 5, and you can do 4 and 5, you can switch them up if you want to, but you have to have this tested with a group. After you've created it, I want you to send that link to maybe your family. Maybe some clients that you already have that you trust can tell you the truth about what your lead magnet really does for them, whether it's valuable, whether it's maybe too long, maybe it's too short, maybe it's a little unclear with the information you're providing. You want feedback on your lead magnet. So send it to some people to have it tested. Also, you're gonna wanna make sure you don't have any typos. I'm the person, now my brand, it's more casual and it's simple. So I think my audience in general doesn't really care if there's some typos here and there, but when you're starting out, make it as professional as you can, even if it's a casual brand, and make sure you know the typos are okay, the grammar is corrected, things like that. So test your lead magnet. And then here's the big part. Here is where you're going to create your opt-in page. Another big word. But if you know what emails, lead magnets are, autoresponders, funnels, you're gonna know what an opt-in page is. An opt-in page is simply where the person's gonna enter their name and email, click submit, and then they're going to get your autoresponder email with your lead magnet linked right into it. Okay, so that's all an opt-in page means, is a place where they enter their email and their name, and then they get your freebie, and then you have them on your list, right? Your email list now. So in order to do that, you can look at your autoresponder. MailChimp is one that I used that was free. It does have a place where you put in the long code, embed, that's the word. You can embed the opt-in name and email bar right into your blog or wherever it is you want to post it, right into your website. You can link to it on your social media, things like that. So sometimes your autoresponder will have that already made. However, it's very generic. They are letting you customize it a little bit better, but you may want to take a peek, and this is just for your information, at leadpages.net. Even if you don't use them, take a look at what leadpages.net has, and you'll see there's the pretty picture here, there's a description here, there's a button here, and you can customize everything and move things around to make your opt-in page a lot more attractive to people, okay? But that step number 6 is you have to create an opt-in page, and you gotta link it to your autoresponder, okay? So you can Google all that. I just wanna guide you through the steps of creating your lead magnet and how to put it in place so you can explode your email list. All right, the last step is to indeed write that welcome email to your newsletter. Now, you're not really gonna call it a newsletter. You're gonna call it whatever it is you want. I call it a funnel, but I don't really tell people, hey, subscribe to my newsletter, because newsletters in the past have been all about the business, if that makes sense. So it would be, and I was guilty of this when I started, I had a newsletter because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. I didn't know all this stuff yet. I didn't take thousands and thousands of dollars worth of courses yet to figure it all out. But in the past, newsletters were, okay, this month I did this, and I did this, and here's what you might want to buy because it's on sale. And it wasn't really providing value for the customer. So like when you pull up your email, do you really read newsletters or anything that says newsletters? Not really, right? We want values. My emails will be, here's how to do this. Do you want to know how to be more productive? Do you want to know how to plan your honeymoon? Something like that, something that provides value. So you're going to create that email with that link to your lead magnet and say, thanks for signing up for this lead magnet XYZ. I can't wait to show you how to do whatever it is I'm going to teach you. And at the end, this is the kicker, you can put another call to action, and it can say something like PS, something like that to entice them to take another action. Almost everything, pretty much 99.9% of what you'll be doing will be having people take an action. So also include that on your email, okay? So we covered a lot, right? But this is how you generate leads in your sleep and grow your email list without a ton of work. You can put it on autopilot, and people will share it with other people. People will call you because they found the information useful and they'll want your services. Now, is it gonna make everybody? Absolutely not. If you have like a 1% conversion, meaning somebody actually calls you and wants to do business with you, that's fantastic. 1 to 3% is generally the average. So don't feel like a failure if you put this out, maybe you only have 10 people on your email list and nobody buys. It's okay, because you're gonna have to probably get 100 people before that 1% buys, okay? And also, if you want to see one of my lead magnets, go ahead to findyourfreetime.com. Findyourfreetime.com is my lead magnet. It is a series of videos, very short videos, that teach you how to automate your day pretty much by using your smartphone to automate your schedule and prioritize your to-do list so that you have at least 1 to 2 hours extra a day for whatever it is you want to do. So if your life is crazy busy and you think you need to figure out a way to make more free time for yourself, go to findyourfreetime.com. You'll see my lead magnet, you'll be in my funnel, and you'll see how it all works. Go ahead and grab my emails, change them to make them the way that you need to send to your email list. I don't care. That's what everybody does, by the way. So if you're needing help writing emails, go ahead and grab one from a business that sent you an email and just tweak it to make it the way that you want. So anyway, God bless you, take care, and I will see you next week when I share another tip with you. Take care. Number 2, you're going to... Why did I have to look at my paper? Oh my gosh, what would I do?